Balaram goes on pilgrimage, and we have text 1 on the board. We'll go through text 6 because it's the first one who has a little purport. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Shuka Uvacha Tatha Parvanyupavritte Prachanda Pamshu Varshana Bhimo Bhayur Abhudrajan Puyagandastu Sarvashaha. Mataji's okay, so this is text 1, just to give you a little context in case you were not here last few days. We are in Naimisharanya nowadays in the state of Uttar Pradesh, and Balaram, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna's elder brother, he is visiting, and he just killed Romaharshana Sutta. Romaharshana Sutta was speaking to the sages, but somehow he demonstrated a very proud, arrogant mentality by not offering any respect to Balaram when he came. And so Balaram decided to kill him. And he killed him with a blade of kusha grass, which is a very unusual way of killing people. So then there was some discussion among with the sages. The sages said, well, actually we had just blessed him with long life, and he just killed him. So then Balaram said something like, okay, I can give him back life, no problem. But then they said, no, your act of killing him should be maintained, but we also gave him blessing for long life. So what to do? And then they decided, okay, we transfer all the blessings to his son, so that the son represents the father, so all the blessings go to the son. Then Balarama asked, as a Kshatriya king, how can I serve you? And the sages tell him that every month there was a fearful, terrible demon who would come and devastate, contaminate the sacrifice. They were doing sacrifice, homa sacrifices. So, one verse says, this is the sages talking with Balaram. They say, "O descendant of Dashara, please kill that sinful demon who pours down pus, blood, feces, urine, wine, and meat upon us. This is the best service you can do for us." So, this verse describes the demon arriving, and let's see, this showdown between Balaram and Balvala. We will see who wins. So, translation of this verse on the board. Shukadeva Goswami said, "Then, on the new moon day, O king, a fierce and frightening wind arose, scattering dust all about and spreading the smell of pus everywhere. Tato medhyamayam varsham balvalena vinirmitam abhavat yagyasalayam so unvandrishata shuladrik." Next, unto the sacrificial arena came a downpour of abominable things sent by Balvala, after which the demon himself appeared, trident in hand. So he first sends all these abominable things, and then he comes himself. What an entry. Tam vilokya briyat krayam binnanjana chayopamam tapta tamra shika smarshrum dhamstrogra bru kuti mukham samsaramushalam rama parasanya vidaranam halam cha daitya dananam teturnam upatastatu. The immense demon resembled a mass of black carbon. His top knot and beard were like molten copper. So all black, but with red hair and beard. And his face had horrible fangs and furrowed eyebrows. Upon seeing him, Lord Balaram thought of his club, which tears to pieces his enemy's armies, and his plow weapon, which punishes the demons. Thus summoned, his two weapons appeared before him at once. Tam akrishya halagrina bhalvalam gaganecharam mushalena hanat krudho murdhni brahma druham balaha. With the tip of his plow, Lord Balaram caught hold of the demon Balvala as he flew through the sky. He was flying. And with his club, the Lord angrily struck that harasser of Brahmanas on the head. So patat bhuvi nirbhinna lalato shrik sumutsrijan munchan arta swaram shailo yat vajra hatorunaha. Balvala cried out in agony and fell to the ground, his forehead cracked open and gushing blood. He resembled a red mountain struck by a lightning bolt. There's a little purport here. According to the Acharyas, the demon appeared reddish with blood, like a mountain red with oxide. Okay. So here the story of Balvala ends. Om Ajnanati Virandasya Gnanjana Salakaya Chakshirumritamyena Tasmai Shri Guru Namaha. Om Vishabhadaya Krishna Vistai Budare Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namni Namaste Saraswati Devi Gurvani Pacharine Nivishesha Shunivadi Paschatya Deshatarine Bhan Shakal Padruvisha Kripa Sindhu Vichapyam Peva Vaishnavya Nunvam. So, I think you all heard the expression, the entering like a needle, in like a needle and out as a plow. Huh? Here, Balvala does practically the opposite. He enters as a plow and goes out as a needle. Or, to be more specific, he enters as a plow, is caught by the plow, and then is smashed by the mace. And so, that's all we hear about Balvala in the Bhagavatam. It was a very short appearance and disappearance. You know, he basically within 5-6 verses is gone. And there is no even dialogue. Sometimes you get these demons that insult Krishna, like Paundraka or Hiranyaksha. There's some exchange, no? Some insult, you this, no, you that, yeah, I'll kill you, no, I'll kill you. But here there's no dialogue, really. He comes, he throws all these abominable things. I don't want even to repeat, but you heard horrible things, untouchable things. And then he comes, huge, fearful, completely black, like coal black. Red hair, red beard, trident. And then Lord Balaram mystically sends for his weapons. He wasn't carrying them. These are living weapons, they're transcendental weapons. He doesn't have to carry himself, or he doesn't have to have a servant to carry them. They're living weapons. So he just thought of them. The mace and the plow. The plow, of course, we know that Balaram as the plow because he represents agriculture. But these agricultural instruments can also be used as weapons. Everywhere in the world, I don't know, but I assume also in Maharashtra, some of the instruments that the farmers use can also be used as weapons, right? You all heard about the nunchaku? The nunchaku? Huh? Actually, the nunchaku, originally, it's a farmer tool. But then it becomes also part of martial art. So plows are good to plow the land and also to capture demons that fly in the sky. And of course the mace is more specifically an instrument of death. It's a more specifically an instrument of war. So who is this Balvala? Now, again, the Bhagavatam doesn't say anything else about Balvala. But in the previous chapter it says that he is the son of Ilvala. And some of you know Ilvala. Ilvala was the grandson of Hiranyakashipu. So that makes Balvala the grandson of Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu had 4 sons and 1 daughter. One son, of course, the most famous is Prahlad. Prahlad. But there was another son named Ladha. And this Ladha had 2 sons, Ilvala and Tatapi. And apparently, this is not described in the Bhagavad, but I read it somewhere else. They were based in Badami. You know Badami, Karnataka? You heard about Badami? Anybody has heard about Badami in North Karnataka? See? It was actually, thousands of years ago, was the seat of an empire, the Chalukya Empire. Chalukya of Badami. In fact, at that time, Mumbai was under Badami. Just historical trivia. But 5,000 years ago, apparently this Tatapi and Ilvala were there, and their hobby was killing brahmanas. And there is Ilvala is mentioned several times in the Bhagavatam. It comes up when the Devas and the Asuras fight. But there is a specific verse in the 6th canto that describes, that just gives a hint of how they were killing Brahmanas. What happened is this. They became very angry with the Brahmanas. As far as I know, as far as I read, because they wanted to become Brahmanas themselves, but the Brahmanas said, no way, you are not, don't have the qualifications. So they became very angry. So they would invite Brahmanas to their house. And because they're demons, they're these very powerful demons, they have these mystic powers. So Tapati, what's his name? Vatapi, sorry, my mistake. Vatapi would turn himself into a ram, into a big goat, male goat. So then Ilvala will cook him. Because they had them Mrityu Sanjivani, those tricks. So then they will feed this goat to the Brahmanas. Now, don't ask me why Brahmanas were eating meat. I don't know. But this is the story. This is the story. So then, after the Brahmana eaten good amount, so then Ilvala will call Vatapi out. Vatapi, come out. And so he will kind of recondense his original body and come out of the stomach of the Brahmana and kill the Brahmana. And Balvala was the son of Ilvala. So, he was genetically challenged. Now, if they did this thing many times, and then finally the Devatas said, there's different versions, different details, but finally the Devatas asked Agastya Muni, do something. Do something. So then Agastya Muni, he knew everything, so he went there. They also served this meal, the Vatapi turned into a ram and cooked. And apparently Agastya Muni also ate the meat. And then at one point, Ilvala said, Vatapi, come out! And Agastya said, Vatapi, get digested. And that was the end of Vatapi. And then Ilvala tried to attack Agastya Muni, but then Agastya Muni, just with his glance, burnt him to ashes. So here Balaram kills Balvala, the great-grandson of Hiranyakashipu. Of course, when Balaram came as Nityananda, his mood was different. The biggest demons around Navadvip were Jagai Madai. And there is description how they did like innumerable sins, violence to all sorts of people, women, men, all sorts of trickery and cheating, dishonesty, and so on and so forth. But they were not flying in the sky, because in Kali Yuga, they didn't have, at least they did not manifest these powers. So you all know the story. One point Nityananda approached them, please take up the holy name, take up Krishna consciousness. And they became very angry. And which one threw the thing? Madai threw this pot of wine or something. See, there is a connection. Even Balvala was throwing wine. So, and then Balaram, Nityananda, he got struck in the head and he started bleeding. And then Lord Chaitanya called his Sudarshan Chakra to kill both of them, Jagai and Madai. But then in this incarnation, in this appearance, in this visit, Balaram, Nityananda said, no, please don't kill them. Because if we had to kill them, we had to kill everybody. This is Kali Yuga. If we start killing the demons, that's a different avatar. We do other things. We don't do that. And then Lord Chaitanya was kind of pacified and said, okay. And then we know that Jagai and Madai became very great devotees. In fact, for hundreds of years, there is this Madai Ghat, the Ghat that the Madai built to serve the Brahmana, to serve the Vaishnava. Now the Ganges, the Ganga doesn't flow anymore. The Ganga is maybe 1 kilometer away because the Ganga always moves. But you can see, you can still find, it's near the Yoga Pit. Some of you have been there, Madai Ghat. So you can visit the place where Madai Ghat was there. So this tells us one thing, that in different ages, there are different rules. There are different attitudes. And even Krishna himself in his different avatars deal with people, even with demons, in different ways. Balvala, he got killed. It was quite straightforward. The Brahmana asked. It was very disturbing, and Balaram was as a Kshatriya, and just he killed. But when he came as Nityananda, the same person, when he came as Nityananda, he was a Brahmana this time. He was a preacher this time. Not only a Brahmana, not only a preacher, but a very, very merciful one. So, things change in different ages. Like in the first canto, there is that verse that explains how in previous ages, one gets bad karma, gets the results of sin, just by thinking of sin, without even having to do the sin practically. But in Kali Yuga and in the previous ages, to get the punya, to get the good karma, you actually had to perform the punya, the pious activities, practically. But then in Kali Yuga, the reverse is true. Sins don't bring bad karma unless practically performed. Of course, if you think all day of sins, that affects your consciousness, affects your well-being, that's different. But you don't get the karma. Like you think, oh, I would like to steal money from that bank. You think. You don't get bad karma for that. In previous age, you get bad karma for that. And also in Kali Yuga, when you think of doing pious activities, that gives you punya. Even if you don't do. Like you see a Brahmana in the street, you see, nice Brahmana, I would like to give him a cow as a gift. You get the punya. Of course, we understand this should not be misused. It's not that you don't do anything and you think, oh, I'm thinking, like today I go for college preaching. Yeah, I should go for college preaching, but then you go to sleep all day, but I get the punya, I thought of it. Obviously. Now, there are different, the cosmos, the agents of the cosmos adapt and adjust according to the circumstances. Just like there is a Indian law, but that Indian law sometimes can be more strict and sometimes can be relaxed. Give an example. Curfew. A few years ago there was this attack at the gate of India. Probably they set the curfew all over the city. Curfew means nobody can get out after, 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So the normal standard is people can walk around all day, all night. You are an Indian citizen, you can go around all day, all night. But if the state say, no, curfew, it's an emergency situation, you cannot walk, then you cannot walk. Similarly, the state government can also relax some restrictions. For instance, to perform surgery on another human being, you need to have a degree. I don't know in India what's called. What degree you need to perform surgery? MBBS? BCom? No. No, I don't know. So you need to have certain, otherwise you cannot. You cannot just decide, oh, this person is suffering, let me cut him open, see what I can do, you know. No. But on a battlefield, sometimes there are very urgent cases. There's not enough doctors. MBBS. Huh? There are not enough MBBS. So sometimes even medicine students, they're engaged in do surgery, amputations and other things, because they're not enough. So the government can relax or restrict. And so the universe works like that. And so different laws of nature work in different ages. Okay, these are a few points on the Balvala story. Any questions or comments so far? Okay, I don't know how to read that, if you all agree or... Anyway, whatever. So I'll tell you something more, then I'll try again. So in this case, it's a case of justice. As a Kshatriya, Balaram had the right and the duty to sentence Balvala. It was very clear cut. Very clear cut. Plus the Brahmanas told him, please kill him. So it was, according to Dharma, was perfect. And was beneficial. It was beneficial because now the Brahmanas can do the Homa. The Homa benefits everybody. This Balvala stops doing what he was doing, and so on and so forth. Now, sometimes, in ISKCON, in the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, or in any Vaishnava society, what needs to be done when there is some sin, when there is some transgression? What to do is not so clear. Because there is a tension between justice and mercy. Even if there is no doubt, there is no controversy on the facts. Okay? This devotee did this, and this is prohibited, it's very clear. So even if the facts are crystal clear, how to deal with that? Do we apply justice? In other words, we apply punishment according to the rules, regulations, general standards. Or we apply mercy, which could take different forms. Mercy, in the sense, we say, no, it's a devotee, let's not do anything, or let's try to reform him. We send him to Govardhaneka village to do the 2 years Vidyapit, something like that, which is almost like a reward, actually. Anyway, so sometimes this tension exists in all the communities because there are certain acts that the community, the leaders especially, need to discourage. I'll give you an example. Divorce. You all heard about divorce. Two people are married to each other legally, religiously, but then they decide that we don't want to be married anymore. And so they go to the office. Where'd they go? Huh? To the police. Where? To the court. Yeah, to the court. And they say, we don't want to get married anymore. There is no a fire sacrifice for divorce, because there's no like there's no, but that is, I mean, they go to the court and they divorce. Now, first of all, of course, there are many types of divorces. Not all divorces are same. There are some rare cases, with the emphasis on the word rare, in which a marriage should not be maintained. Srila Prabhupada gives the example, for instance, that if the husband is very violent, is completely fallen and violent, very abusive and fallen, the wife doesn't have the right, or doesn't have the duty to stay with him. But very fallen. Not that he misses one Mongol article or something. No, very, very fallen. Okay, so. And some divorces are more, we could say, more frivolous or more superficial. Maybe they are recently married. Oh, I don't like the way she squeezes the toothpaste from the middle. She should squeeze it from the bottom. I told her many times. Divorce is increasing in India. I don't know if you study the statistics. You teach those statistics in the Bhakti program? No. Okay. But you can read the divorces. I mean, 100 years ago was unheard of. Right? Unheard of. Divorcing was just unheard of. But now, especially this side of India, Mumbai, so in a community, we want to discourage divorce. We want to discourage. Obviously, we need prevention is better than cure. And obviously, we need to prepare devotees to enter Grihastha ashram in a proper frame of mind and all that. But we want to discourage the idea that, okay, you're married, you two are married, now the first fight or the first disagreement, the first difference of opinion or the first incompatibility of views, then you break the marriage. Now, what can we do to discourage divorce? One way, I'm just exploring different options, okay? One way is to say, to take like a hard line. You divorced, there are very serious consequences. You cannot come to the temple anymore. You cannot go to the yatras anymore. For at least 60 years. 60. Now, if you want to take because some hope, you want to give some hope. But anyway, so you may want to take a very hard line. I'm talking in principle, okay? I don't know what's the standard here. I'm talking in principle. And so what you do? Of course, the person gets kind of smashed, we could say. I mean, it's a very heavy consequence. It's almost like excommunicated from the community. Both of them. Or you can just say, well, but they're devotees. I mean, we have to protect their spiritual life. We cannot just ban them from coming. After all, they're devotees. Bhakti is important, like that. But then, by doing that, you know that you're sending a message that if there is no consequences, you're sending a message that basically is okay. You don't say it, huh? You don't say it. It's not like one announcement after Mongol Arti. From today onwards, divorce is okay. It's not like that. But implicitly, you give the message that, look, that couple divorced. Nothing happened. Nothing really happened. I mean, the counselor maybe told him, but not really nothing happened. Then the other couple divorced. Nothing happened. Another couple divorced. Nothing happened. Means that it's actually okay. So, leaders often have this moral dilemma. This is just one of the moral dilemmas of leaders. There are many types of moral dilemma. But to resolve the tension between justice and mercy, punishment and compassion, tolerance or indifference. So, as leaders, you have to think about these things. Any questions now? Yes? Do we have a mic?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu, for the nice class. I just wanted to know.
But generally, you say wonderful class. Today, only nice.
Super.
Generally, people say thank you for the wonderful class, right? Today, only nice. He didn't like it very much.
No, it was super excellent class.
Sounds better now. Yes, thank you.
It was refreshing, actually. It's always nice to have a guest speaker, speaking, because we are so used to hearing each other speak. So when a guest speaker comes, it's a nice change for all of us.
Even if he talks nonsense.
No. It's very nice. You have got a very animated style of presenting, and it's very.
Thank you. Enough. Okay. What's the question?
I just wanted to know the reference for that. That by thinking you don't of a sin, you don't get the sin, but by.
Who can give me the reference? It's the first canto, chapter 18. Yeah, can you give the reference, the number? You want to read the verse? You want to take the... Suspense. You found it? Somebody found it before you. Oh. What?
Hare Krishna.
Yes?
Just a small doubt I had about these Vedic sciences like Ayurveda and Vastu and astrology kind of things. So, how much faith can we put in these?
Yes, of course, I spoke a lot about Vastu, Ayurveda, and astrology in my class, and therefore it's a natural question. I agree. Yes. These are different, difficult question to answer, because when you say how much, the person who speaks doesn't know exactly what metric you have in mind. It's like if you say you're cooking sweet rice and you ask how much sugar should I put, then you can give a very exact answer. Put 2.5 kilos, right? But I don't have that privilege, because I cannot tell you how much Vastu 30%, Ayurveda 80%, astrology 50%. You follow? So, it's a question which does not have a one-sided answer. Generally, the questions that don't have a one-sided answer are answered by saying, it depends. Right? It depends. Vastu. There are certain energies, there are certain vibrations, and how the house is built, the material, the direction, the place where you place the kitchen, where you place the bathroom, or even a temple, actually. I mean, a building, okay? Definitely, the way you build a building, the height, the place, what's around, the ratio, and so on, has an effect on the building, has an effect on the activity that goes in the building. To give a gross example, if there is a hole in the roof, water will come on inside, on the head of people who live inside, which is not good. So similarly, depending on the direction, depending on what's the nature of the road, for instance, according to Vastu, if you build a building on the curve of a road, it's not very good, because it's too much energy. It's too much energy. In Feng Shui, which is the Chinese Vastu, they say that if you build a building on the curve of a road, that's good. Why? Because apparently Rajas is better than Tamas. You follow? So they want the dynamic, the energy. So they say it's good. But Vastu, which is based obviously on creating Sattva Guna, promoting Sattva Guna, they say no, that energy is too much. So you need to say, you see, your attitude are becoming a Vastu dependent, Vastu addicted. You cannot sit in the train unless it's the right Vastu seat. And maybe you change seat, because now the right Vastu seat is on the southwest corner of the train. Okay? So finally you arrange that you sit there. Okay? But then the train moves and moves away, so then you have to change seat because it's not southwest anymore. So obviously these are exaggerations. But even there, how much you want to give attention? How much? Now, certainly it's Krishna's energy. You want the Krishna's energy to be engaged in a harmonious way. So you try your best. If the Vastu expert says, look, you got to build a wall here because it's very bad, it changes the whole atmosphere, then you do it. Okay? Ayurveda is the same. If it helps you to do nice service, some Ayurvedic principles are universal. Okay? Don't eat too much, or eat when you're hungry, or for your particular bodily type, kapha, pitta, vata, you should not eat this tamarind, or you should not eat ghee. And so it's a good thing. Even then, of course, how addicted or dependent are you? There are many things we do in life which are against Ayurveda. Just to give an example, it is against Ayurveda to live in Mumbai. But you have to make a choice. If your guru says serve in Mumbai, you serve in Mumbai. You don't go for the exact spot where it's Ayurvedically conducive to your kapha, pitta, vata balance. Also, you have to see, again, Ayurveda, how much time, money, energy you want to invest. Some treatments last for years and years, no? Maybe you may want to do something more quick. Astrology, in one sense, is much more complex. Because, why? Because I don't see many devotees too much addicted to Vastu. Maybe a few here and there, no? A few here and there. But it's not. Ayurveda generally is a good thing, so it's not a very, it's generally you don't see devotees being affected in their service because of Ayurvedic consideration. Astrology is different. And we could actually talk hours about astrology and devotional service. But we don't have hours, we have 5 minutes. Last year in Calcutta, Shirade, can I say what Radhanath Maharaj told us personally? Okay? So last year in Calcutta, we were there for the 50th anniversary of Srila Prabhupada leaving. And then we had a darshan, me and my wife, with His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, talking about a project about premarital training people. And so the topic of astrology came up. And Maharaj told us, but maybe you're not interested. Should we change the topic? Are you interested? You want to know what Maharaj said? No? Okay, I'll tell you. So Maharaj said, the problem is not astrology. The problem are the astrologers. We, meaning my wife, myself, we did a little research. What Srila Prabhupada actually said about astrology. And he said it's a great science. In fact, he writes in the Bhagavatam, 1st canto, 12th chapter. He says, astrology is a great science. But he also said that people don't know the science. Obviously, if it's a great science, but people don't know it, it's not so useful or so dependable, right? Huh? Like you say, a nuclear energy. Nuclear energy can give so much energy to Mumbai. But if somebody doesn't know how to handle nuclear energy, just have an explosion destroys the whole Mumbai. And Maharaj, and also in our own, he gave different examples, for instance. He gave different examples. For instance, 2 examples. He gave examples that the same chart, you have a boy, you have a girl, okay? They come. Is this marriage compatible? Are they compatible? Can they marry? One astrologer said, very good match, with intense nodding. Very good match. Another astrologer, we're talking professional astrologers. Another astrologer says, no, very bad match, very bad match. And another third astrologer say, it's so, it can work. A medium, maybe, it's a maybe. Then Maharaj gave us another example. He knows an astrologer, and he told us, I won't tell you the name, and please don't even think who could that be. He prohibited us to even think, to try to identify. There was an astrologer who was looking for, he wanted to get married, and was looking for the perfect match. Perfect girl matching astrologically. Okay? He was looking. Finally, he found the perfect matching, astrological match. And then Maharaj said, this was he used some very strong words. What was that? Yeah, the most ghastly, violent, horrible marriage in the history of ISKCON. Horrible marriage, horrible breakup. Although the astrologer was doing for himself. So, I told you I could talk hours, but I got 2 minutes left. So, in general, in principle, there is a role for astrology in life, and Srila Prabhupada talks about this in the 6th canto. He talks about this in the 10th canto. But we need to be very, very careful. Very careful. Because there are so many people, even sincere devotees. There are many people, even sincere devotees, who don't know how to do astrology. There are people who try to help, just try to help. They do it for free. They do it for free. They try to help. Like I know one case, just 1 month ago, was telling us, a very nice devotee, senior devotee, actually Srila Prabhupada disciple, who does it for helping people. He doesn't ask money or anything. But when he looks for compatibility, he looks only for kutas, which are certain element of compatibility. But they're not the foundational element. So he gives those kutas, those names, those numbers. And then, one particular lady told us after a few months the marriage was broken. Because the foundation of the marriage, astrologically speaking, wasn't there. So we need to be extremely careful who does astrology and for what. So I think I'll stop here, because astrologically this is the time to stop. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Lord Balaram ki jai, the disappearance of Balvala ki.